want the system to work. We want it to work. But the way they're going about it is only going to de-incentivize doctors from actually stepping up.
Sounding off, thousands of Quebec doctors gathering in Montreal, urging the province to suspend a law overhauling their pay and work structures.
The American people will see who stands with them on health care and who does not.
The U.S. Senate takes the first step to ending a record-long government shutdown, agreeing to proceed without a guaranteed extension of health care subsidies. Canadian Junior Football National Title. Your morning starts now. Good morning and welcome to Your Morning Saskatchewan. Well, Saskatchewan's Agriculture Minister, Darrell Harrison, has asked the NDP to substantiate allegations that foreigners are illegally purchasing provincial farmland. The NDP say the government has looked the other way and has failed to enforce the law. Darrell Harrison has given the NDP until today to prove it. Wayne Mantika has the details.
The NDP is concerned that not enough is being done to detect foreign purchase of Saskatchewan farmland.
We've been calling on that government from the moment they've been elected, and they look the other way and have failed to enforce the law.
The allegation has angered the Agriculture Minister, who has sent a letter to the opposition saying, "I ask that you provide any evidence, documentation, and/or information regarding the serious allegations you have made directly to the Farmland Security Board no later than November 10th at 5 p.m.
And I would say that if the critic, Mr. Speaker, the opposition critic, has an example of where he, in his words, says that the government of China, the People's Republic of China, or Chinese citizens are owning farmland in Saskatchewan, that he report that immediately.
In a recent report, the provincial auditor found 5 cases since 2020 where orders were issued to sell farmland inappropriately purchased. 8 cases were unresolved, and the auditor expressed concern that the government does not have escalation procedures to take further action.
But we need integrity of that system and to make sure that we're enforcing our laws and protecting against illegal foreign acquisition.
The NDP say it based its allegations on cases raised by producers and that all were advised to contact the Farmland Security Board. Wayne Mantika, CTV News, Regina.
Good weekend, guys.
The federal Liberals still have another confidence vote to get through in order for their budget to pass and avoid an election.
We believe that people who may have voted Conservative or think of voting Conservative, these are concepts that they can support, that they can get behind. It's a budget that's firmly planted in the middle of Canadian politics.
Good.
Government House Leader Stephen McKinnon says the opposition parties should support the document. The Liberals are 2 seats shy of a majority government. They've already survived 2 confidence votes in the House related to the budget. The third vote will happen next Monday. If the budget fails to pass, Canadians could be headed into another election. The Conservatives and Bloc have already said they won't support the budget. The 2 parties have each laid out a series of conditions for their votes. The NDP, meanwhile, says it is still deciding. Today, Prime Minister Carney will be speaking on the federal government's new Buy Canadian policy. He'll be in Fredericton later this morning to meet with New Brunswick Premier Susan Holt. Thousands of doctors in Quebec gathered for a massive demonstration Sunday. More than 12,000 doctors denounced a new law aimed at overhauling the province's healthcare system. They're urging the Quebec government to suspend Bill 2, saying it will damage how patients and doctors in the province are treated. Quebec is aiming to tie a percentage of a doctor's salary to performance targets. It would also pay family doctors a fixed amount per patient visit. The Quebec government says these changes are necessary to improve care. However, doctors say it will just drive away doctors from practicing in Quebec. 250 Quebec doctors have applied for an Ontario license in the past 2 weeks. Compare that to just 19 doctors applying in Ontario from June to October 22nd of this year. The U.S. Senate has passed a deal aimed at ending the longest government shutdown in its history.
On this vote, the yeas are 60 and the nays are 40. 3/5 of the Senate duly chosen and sworn, having voted in the affirmative. The motion upon reconsideration is agreed to.
8 Democrats are breaking with their party to vote in favor of an agreement. The deal doesn't include a key demand from Democrats, which is extending Affordable Care Act subsidies that are due to expire this year. Instead, Republicans are only promising a future vote on health care sometime next month. The deal will need to clear several more hurdles before federal workers can get paid and services return. 1.4 million federal employees have been on unpaid leave or working without pay since the U.S. government ran out of money October 1st. 2 people are facing charges after guns were seized during a vehicle search in the Cut Knife area. Here's a look at what RCMP seized during the search on Saturday. Mounties say 6 guns, including 4 that were loaded, were found in a vehicle on the Poundmaker First Nation. Police stopped a black Escalade SUV with a man, woman, and 2 dogs inside. 27-year-old Caroline Eagleshield faces 47 charges, including possession of a weapon for a dangerous purpose. 40-year-old Robert Noorgaard faces 32 charges. Both will be in North Battleford Court later today. A 3rd person is now charged in an ongoing Regina homicide investigation. A 16-year-old boy is now facing a number of charges, including 2nd-degree murder in relation to Regina's 10th homicide of the year. It happened on the 1000 block of 12th Avenue. A 19-year-old man was shot and later died. The youth facing charges cannot be named under the Youth Criminal Justice Act. A 44-year-old Trevor Whitequill and a 17-year-old girl are also charged in the death. All 3 are scheduled to be in Regina court this morning. A Regina author is sharing the inspiring stories of former Prairie pilots. Dina Driver, an author and founder of Driver Works Inc. publishing company, who dedicated over 2 decades to writing books that preserve the stories of people from across the prairies. Her most recent books showcase the bravery and heroism of 2 former Saskatchewan pilots who flew planes of all sizes across Canada and even the world.
Telling those prairie stories and the war stories, aviation stories, those are the heart of helping others and doing good things to make the world a better place.
While the pilots are no longer flying, the tales of their journeys can now be seen across the airwaves thanks to Driver's longstanding commitment to storytelling. And the Saskatchewan Roughriders have punched a ticket to the Grey Cup for the first time in more than a decade. Here's Donovan Mace.
First and goal at the BC3.
It is a touchdown Tommy Neild may never forget.
Harris, end zone, touchdown, Tommy Neild.
And one Saskatchewan Roughrider fans will remember for a long time.
I knew I caught it the whole time. Can't really put it into words. It's just a super exciting moment. Thankful to be put in that position, and that's a play you dream about making.
Neild, the hero in the Western Division Final, catching the game-winning touchdown pass to send Saskatchewan to the Grey Cup.
The CFL, there's plenty of time, so we just kind of meticulously drove the ball down the field, and then Tommy Neild, option route inside the 10, touchdown. we move on.
That play capping off a 76-yard drive in the final minute. Featuring 6 necessary prerequisites before it to even reach the end zone.
I was screaming like a little girl, I think, losing my head, going crazy. But yeah, we practice those scenarios every single day in practice, so it's nothing new for us.
Takes off. No! Stopped.
It would not have been possible without 2 game-swinging defensive stops.
Incredibly huge, so really, I mean, that was pretty damn close to being it for us. So we knew we had to make a play. We had another timeout. Just put the faith in the defense, and then ultimately the faith in the offense.
The win sends the Roughriders to their first Grey Cup game since winning the championship in 2013.
This group is capable of more, and our best football game we haven't played yet.
Just solidified what I probably already knew about the group is, they're not going to turn their back on each other. They're just going to lock up and bite down.
Riders now ready to take on the Eastern Division champion Montreal Alouettes in the 112th Grey Cup in Winnipeg on Sunday. Donovan Mix, CTV News, Regina.
Janelle Pai joins us this morning in the Weather Center. And Janelle, what a weekend for football in Saskatchewan. The Huskies beat the Rams. The Saskatoon Hilltops won a national junior title. And Daryl needs to pay up because we had a jersey bet with the Huskies and Rams game. So we're looking forward to getting him back on the air later this week.
Yes, well, I'll make sure to pass along the message. I'm sure he's very eager to pay up on that. Just like I'm eager to tell you about the weather this week. It's always a good day to backfill when you've got some warm weather on the way. Let's take a look behind me here at our morning view, which is brought to you by recyclemyelectronics.ca, where you can find a drop-off location near you. -4 currently right here in Regina. Once that sun does come up, we will see a little bit of cloud cover in the sky. As you can tell from this morning, if you've been out and about, is a little bit breezy out there as well. We are expecting to see those conditions continue on into today. However, as we roll into the rest of the week, we will start to see those lighten up. Now over to Saskatoon, 0 as the current temperature. Again, those wind speeds are quite high, 28 kilometers per hour. Those aren't going to be lessening as the day goes on. They will be fairly consistent. However, starting tomorrow and into the rest of the week, as I had mentioned, those will be lightening up. We've got some really nice temperatures on the way. Let's look over to our futurecast here. You can see a little bit of a system rolling through northern Saskatchewan here. A little bit of freezing rain. We aren't expecting to see a ton of snow quite yet. However, the farther north you go, that's where you're seeing a little bit of that snow accumulating more. Now for current temperatures across the province, Buffalo Narrows at -2 along with Prince Albert. Spiritwood at 1 degree. We've got Nipawin and Hudson Bay at -3, Melfort -1. The Battlefords at 1 degree, Saskatoon and Wynyard again at that 0 degree mark. Regina again -4, Swift current 3 degrees. We've got Weyburn at -3 and Estevan -4. Now for our highs today across Saskatchewan, the Battleford seeing about 9 degrees. Prince Albert 6 degrees, Saskatoon 12. We've got Swift Current at 16. Again, quite a bit of wind moving through the province here. Estevan 8 degrees and Yorkton 6. Now let's look at those wind gusts. You can see those numbers climbing quite high as we continue on throughout today into the afternoon and into the evening as well. But as I had mentioned, those will begin to decrease as the week goes on. Today, though, a little bit of a gusty one. Now for our 5-day forecast today, right here in Regina, 9 degrees, a little bit of that wind speed moving through, but we've got mainly sun and cloud for the rest of the week, as you can see. And over to Saskatoon today, 12 as the high. A beautiful day ahead of us, minus that wind chill. And for the rest of the week, we've also got some more sun and cloud. Again, those temperatures are fairly nice, just above seasonal, so we are expecting to have quite a nice week ahead of us.
We will never forget your bravery, your strength, your sacrifice.
The very best and bravest of our nation, these heroic souls stood on guard for freedom.
Join the CTV News team and me as Canada comes together to remember.
Remembrance Day 2025, Tuesday morning at 10 Eastern, 7 Pacific on CTV.
The Saskatchewan government is expanding strep throat testing to more communities. 11 more pharmacies across the province will now be able to test for Strep, bringing the total to 22 locations. At these pharmacies, trained pharmacists can assess symptoms, perform a rapid Strep test, and prescribe medication if needed.
There's some communities where the pharmacy is the main access point for healthcare. So I think specifically in those communities, this is a great opportunity to really expand what can be done in a pharmacy from a primary care sense, so that people can stay closer to home, people have quicker access.
Health officials say expanding access can help catch Strep early, preventing spread and reducing the risk of serious complications. A list of pharmacies offering the assessments can be found through the Saskatchewan College of Pharmacy Professionals.
Health Report, brought to you in part by Saskatchewan Blue Cross, protecting your health since 1946.
Well, in case you missed it, despite being seen with former Prime Minister Justin Trudeau, Katy Perry is singing about a broken heart in her new single. So this is her new song called Band-Aids, where she seems to be revealing some of the reasons behind her split from Orlando Bloom. One of the lines says, "I promise I tried." She also sings, "It's not what you did, it's what you didn't." There's also a nod to their daughter Daisy Dove when she sees a daisy, and sings about the relationship being, quote, "worth it in the end."
Katy Perry has some of the all-time pop bangers of the last 20 years. I'm always interested in what she has to offer. I wonder if she'll sing about her new boyfriend. Get some CanCon radio play out of that one, I'm sure.
I hope so. I'm so in it here with the Katy Perry stuff. I'd love to see a song about Justin. But we do have a question of the day coming up here, Jeremy. So today's question is, who are you honoring this Remembrance Day? You can send us a text at 10400, standard message and data rates may apply, or you can scan the QR code on your screen. Jeremy, what is your answer for today?
Well, I mean, we're honoring all, right? All veterans. And every year, there are fewer and fewer still around from the big wars. So there are so many countless names to get out there and people to honor and thank for us being able to enjoy the freedoms that we have. So any and all is my answer.
That is a fantastic answer, and we are eager to hear yours. So once again, send them over to us. We will have them up on the big screen coming up later in the show here this morning.
How you doing? Jermaine Franklin in the Sports Center newsroom with your must-see moment from Sunday. And for it, we head to Ottawa for the Canadian Premier League Championship game. Ottawa facing Cavalry FC in a blizzard. 40th minute, the ball delivered into the box. And David Rodriguez pulls off the bicycle kick goal. Incredible scenes and an unreal finish, especially given the conditions. Maybe easier than shooting it along the snow. Just saying. His first of two in the match as Ottawa takes the North Star Cup, and Rodriguez claims the must-see moment. Tonight on TSN, we wrap up Week 10 in the NFL with Monday Night Football. The Eagles face the Packers in Green Bay. Coverage begins at 6 p.m. Eastern, 3 Pacific. That's all for now from the Sports Center newsroom. Have a great day.
All right, now let's check in with Mike Siona to see what he's up to this morning. Good morning, Mike.
Good morning indeed. We are down here at the Royal Canadian Legion with the one and only Malcolm Young ahead of tomorrow's Remembrance Day services in Saskatoon. And a couple of big anniversaries this year. We want to talk first and foremost about 25 years since the repatriation at the Tomb of the Unknown Soldier.
Hi, Mike. Thanks for having us. Yes, very much. This year, there's a couple of anniversaries we're commemorating, but the 20th anniversary, the repatriation, as you mentioned, the Tomb of the Unknown Soldier, is a key one. May of 2000, the remains of a single Canadian Canadian soldier whose remains are unidentified, were repatriated from Vimy, France, in a cemetery there, brought back to Ottawa, interred in the Tomb of the Unknown Soldier. And now that put Canada in the same position as 60 other countries that have those tombs. This year, what we're going to do is put that in context. There's over 27,000 Canadians who have died in service, whose remains are either unidentified or have not been found. And so we're going to highlight 4 of those members, and 2 of them are examples here. As you'll see on the wall over to the right, just over my shoulder, there's a good example of naval service. And so Petty Officer Douglas Robertson from Saskatoon, who was actually a painter at the Empire Hotel, he joined the Royal Canadian Navy and he served on the HMCS Regina. He served for almost 2.5 years on the Regina, off the coasts of Canada, coasts of England, as far as Algeria, Africa, with the Regina, and that was a corvette vessel designed to protect convoys. In August of 1944, the Regina was just off the coast of Cornwall, England, and it was attacked by a German submarine and sunk with a loss of lives of 30 sailors, including Douglas Robertson. And then also you have a photo over here of Lieutenant Albert Newberry. Albert was actually from Vancouver, from British Columbia. He joined an Highland unit, but then when he got to England, he was transferred to our own Saskatoon Light Infantry regiment here in Saskatoon. Has a long history. Albert deployed with the rest of the regiment to the invasion of Sicily and fought during the first whole month of Sicily. He went on a reconnaissance mission and was never seen again. And those 2 men are emblematic of the over 27,000 Canadians whose remains have not been found.
Absolutely incredible. I don't know how you jammed all of that into a 2-minute little segment there. We'll talk about the other anniversary that is being commemorated this year, and that, of course, is 80 years since the end of World War II, and we'll talk about that as the morning continues.
Thanks, Mike, so much. More Remembrance Day coverage to come later this morning. All right, let's take a look over at our school day forecast, which is brought to you by School Safety Patrol, CAA, working together to keep our school zone safe. In Regina, by the time you get onto the bus, you might want to grab a jacket. -4 and a little bit cloudy out there. Now, by lunchtime here in Regina, 5 degrees. Things are warming up a little bit. Final bell, 9 degrees. Again, those wind speeds are a little bit high today, though. Over to Saskatoon, 0 degrees by the time you get onto the bus. By the time lunchtime rolls around, 8 degrees, and final bell, a beautiful 12 degrees. As we go into the break, here is a look at today's gas prices. In Regina, the common cost to fill up is $1.28.9. You can find regular fuel for as low as $1.09.9. And in Saskatoon, common cost is $1.27.9, and the lowest you might find is $1.11.9. Taking a look over at farm markets, the street price of canola is $568.42 per ton. The futures price is $626.80 per ton. Amber durum wheat is $285.94 per ton, and red spring wheat is $249.42 per ton. And the Canadian dollar begins the day trading at 71.11 cents US. We're back right after this. Stay with us.
It is 6:31. Thank you for joining us on Your Morning Saskatchewan. It has been 6 years now since the Regina bypass was completed, but controversy continues over whether the $2 billion highway was necessary. Now a Regina author has completed a review of the project, which included walking the entire bypass. Wayne Mantica reports.
Walking the shoulder of a freeway isn't the best idea, but author Ken Wilson did it as research for a book.
And I remember standing on an overpass, looking down at the highway, and I said to myself, you know what? You're going to have to walk on this thing if you really, really want to do this project. And my heart sank because I don't want to walk on this highway.
The assistant professor of English at the University of Regina had heard a lot about the 44-kilometer highway and its controversial $2 billion cost.
I was just curious about the bypass because I didn't understand it. I didn't know why it was there. I didn't know what its purpose was.
A book launch for Walking the Bypass was held recently at the Regina Public Library.
It's partly natural history. It's partly a broad political history. I don't shy away from some of the accusations that were made around land purchases, but that's not the focus of the book.
Some who have read the book say it's not just about the bypass, but about things passed by in our history.
And then fitting that into our history as settler people who came to this land in a colonial way, and we still live in kind of a colonial culture here.
It took Wilson 2.5 days to walk the bypass.
When I walked it in 2020, it's a little different now. It was empty of traffic, and that told me, and people who like it, people who drive it all the time, that's what they tell me. I said, but I like the bypass. There's never any traffic on it. I said, yeah, exactly.
The author says the bypass is a place that's really hard to connect to as a pedestrian, because it's a place where pedestrians really don't belong. Wayne Mantika, CTV News, Regina.
Regina's downtown is starting to reopen after a lengthy summer construction project. Construction on 11th Avenue between Broad and Albert Street has finished. City of Regina's 4-year revitalization project focuses on upgrading the underground infrastructure, along with rebuilding its roads and sidewalks all across 11th Avenue.
If you come down here at night, all the buses come down, meet together, transfers occur. If we were moving away from that model, we need increased frequency to make sure if people do want to have transfers, that if they miss a bus, they're not waiting an hour for the next one. So that budget request is asking for increased frequencies to make sure that we have the correct service for customers if they do want to do transfers in the downtown.
Construction for the remaining and final phase of the project is expected to resume in spring of 2026. The Saskatoon Hilltops have won the Canadian Junior Football National title. The Hilltops defeated the Okanagan Sun with a game-winning field goal with 30 seconds left to win the Canadian Bowl. Hilltops led the game throughout until Okanagan tied it up with just over a minute left. But Ryden Grattan made that field goal just a few plays later to lift the Hilltops to a 21-18 win.
This is just who we are. You know what? We're up for any challenge. The moments never got too big for us. We handled everything, and kids play with poise and confidence.
It's unreal. It doesn't feel real. Just so much hard work off season, during the season. Just it's really great to get the win.
It's the 24th time the Hilltops have won the national championship. Well, Janelle, at the Rider game on Saturday, it was pretty cold. It was, but it looks like things have warmed up above seasonal for the start of this work week.
It sure has. We've got some beautiful temperatures ahead of us here this week. I'm really excited to tell you about them, but let's take a look over at our current temperature right here in Regina first. -4 currently. Again, once that sun rises, we'll see some cloud cover in the sky. However, those temperatures are going to be very nice, so those clouds aren't going to impact our temperature increasing too much. Now 0 degrees here in Saskatoon. Again, those clouds will be there, but some sun's peeking out. And again, those wind speeds are quite high. So currently in Saskatoon, about 28 kilometers per hour. We aren't going to see those lessen too much today. However, once we roll into tomorrow is when you'll see those nice temperatures and those decent wind speeds. Now let's move over to our future cast right here. You can see a system moving up towards northern Saskatchewan. Little bit of freezing rain, even a sprinkling of snow. However, for the most part, we aren't expecting to see too much precipitation or snow or freezing rain. So we've got some nice temperatures ahead of us. Just a little bit of cloud cover here in the sky. Now over to our current temperatures. Stony Rapids seeing about 1 degree. Buffalo Narrows -2 along with South End. We've got Nipawin and Hudson Bay -3 and Spiritwood 1 degree. The Battleford's 1 degree as well. Kindersley seeing 6 degrees already. Swift Current 3. We've got Moose Jaw and Assiniboia at 1. Yorkton -5 and Estevan -4. Now let's look at our highs for today. As you can see, some wind moving throughout the province. Quite a bit of cloud cover. However, nice temperatures given that we are already in November. Battleford seeing about 9 degrees as our high. Saskatoon again 12. We've got Yorkton at 6. Estevan and Weyburn both at 8 and Swift Current 16. Now for our wind gusts today, we'll continue to talk about it here this morning, but as you can see today, later on into the afternoon and into the evening as well, you'll see those wind speeds continue to gradually pick up. Now it is a breezy day out there. Make sure you're grabbing a jacket. If you've got a hat on, make sure it's on tight and secure because you might lose it out there with these winds. Now for our 5-day forecast here in Regina, 9 degrees as our high for today. We'll start to see that sun peeking out starting tomorrow with 6 degrees as our high. Now as we roll in through the rest of the week, we've got quite a bit of sunshine. However, Friday, a little bit more cloud cover, but still 9 degrees. Now over to Saskatoon, some sun coming out today, 12 degrees as the high. Tomorrow we'll be seeing about 7. Now we will be seeing that sun sticking around for the rest of the week for our Saskatoon friends. Friday we'll be starting off the weekend with a beautiful temperature of 9 degrees. Regina Rifles have a rich history, and we have one of their members in studio with us, retired Lieutenant Colonel Ed Stanowski. Good morning, and thank you so much for being here.
Good morning. It's a pleasure to be here with you.
So tell me a little bit about what Remembrance Day means to you.
Well, having had the opportunity to serve in a number of places around the world in a number of conflicts with members of the Canadian Armed Forces and seeing the tremendous work that is done, the sacrifice that it's made, and the accomplishments that are reached and the goals that are satisfied by the members who go overseas. It reminds me of that service and sacrifice of the men and women that I had the opportunity to see in places like Afghanistan and the Balkans and the Middle East, Africa. Some young Canadians have done a great job around the world in the name of peace.
Wow, okay. And Valor in the Presence of the Enemy is a website and petition and the reason that you're here. So tell me what that's all about. Well,
there has not been a Victoria Cross awarded to a Canadian since 1945. The Victoria Cross is the highest medal for valor, and it has to be a very high standard criteria of selfless sacrifice on the battlefield in the presence of the enemy. Since 1993, Canada has had our own Victoria Cross medal, but it has not been awarded yet. Some of the things that were accomplished since 1945 merit their files being looked at, the actions being looked at to see if they are in fact worthy of a Victoria Cross. Canada owes that to its citizens. Canada owes that to its serving members and former serving members, the veterans. So the petition that's going to be tabled in Parliament in Ottawa later this month asks for the Prime Minister to set up a board to review no less than 25 files of actions of valor, primarily during the Afghanistan conflict, but also there are some considerations during peacekeeping and other operations. And those files, too, come to mind. Corporal Jess La Rochelle and Master Warrant Officer Willie McDonald, who's from Regina. And those are just two of the, as I say, no less than 25 files where the actions of the individuals were absolutely amazing over and above and beyond on the battlefield, and they warrant a good look to see if they meet that high criteria. Now, in all the files that I'm talking about, they did receive the second highest award for valor, which is the Military Star of Valor, the Star of Military Valor. And it's worthy that they be looked at, and we're asking the Prime Minister to do that.
Yes. All right. Well, we've got about 30 seconds left. How will you be marking today?
Well, I will be remembering that there were people that I served with that didn't come home. There are parents and loved ones back here in Canada. They grieve a whole new generation. We've lost a lot of, certainly there's no veterans from the First World War alive with us anymore. There's very, very few of the Second World War and Korea. We've got a whole other generation of veterans that need to be remembered. And so tomorrow I'll spend time, or today I will spend time with them.
Amazing. Well, thank you so much for being here with us this morning. Thank you for your service.
Thank you. It's great to be with you.
Heavy snow in Chicago, one of the busiest U.S. aviation hubs, is set to compound the travel chaos across North America as government-mandated restrictions on flights enter a fourth day. Airlines felt the brunt of escalating cancellations and delays from New York to Dallas, up over the border here in Canada, as well as mounting disruptions put passengers and crews out of place. On top of that, weather-related disruptions in Chicago led to more than 10,000 delayed or canceled services on Sunday alone. In the meantime, the impasse in Washington surpassed 40 days, though the Senate took a key step forward on Sunday to reopening the government when some moderate Democrats sided with Republicans. It's still unclear, though, whether the stalemate will be lifted given significant opposition in the House of Representatives. Visa and MasterCard in the U.S. are negotiating a settlement with merchants that will reduce fees there, but could also see vendors refusing certain credit cards, according to a new report. Under the proposed settlement, Visa and MasterCard would lower credit card interchange fees, which are paid by merchants and are typically between 2 and 2.5%, to an average of around 0.1 percentage point over several years. Now, there was a similar settlement in Canada recently from a class action lawsuit, and that is only going in.
On this day in 1975, there was a violent storm that led to the sinking of which ship on Lake Superior? Is it A, the Mary Rose, B, the Edmund Fitzgerald, C, the Jean Chrétien, D, the Titanic, or E, the SS Manitoba?
Thank you, Gordon Lightfoot. It's the Edmund Fitzgerald. I think. I haven't heard of any of these other ships other than the Titanic, but I know it wasn't that one, so it's got to be a B.
Gotta be it. All right, Jeremy. Well, you are right. It is the Edmund Fitzgerald. It sank on November 10th, 1975, during a storm on Lake Superior, killing 29. Gordon Lightfoot wrote and composed The Wreck of Edmund Fitzgerald in 1976, which hit #1 in Canada and #2 in the U.S.
The captain wired in, he had water coming in, and the good ship and crew was in peril. And later that night, when his lights went out of sight, came the wreck of the Edmund Fitzgerald.
It's November 10th, and we have these milestones to share with you. Happy early birthday to Kim. This is coming from your entire family who loves you so much. And Larry turned 62 on Saturday. Happy birthday to you. Love all your friends and family. If you have a milestone coming up, you can send us over an email at yourmorningsaskatchewan@ctv.ca, or you can simply scan the QR code on your screen. Please make sure you're sending them at least one day in advance.
Thanks. We are teeing up Remembrance Day services in Saskatchewan throughout the show. So let's turn our attention to what's happening in Regina.
Good morning. We are down at the Legion here in Regina today. Tomorrow is Remembrance Day, and in honor of that, I've got Parade Marshal Henry here with me. Now, Henry, talk to us a little bit about what Remembrance Day signifies.
Well, Remembrance Day is a day set aside, or a week actually, for the Legion set aside to remember or to pay tribute to the people who have fallen in war and who are suffering from bringing back the after effects of war, and just to keep it fresh in people's mind as to what it's all about.
Absolutely. And how have you seen these moments and events evolve and grow over the years?
I'm not sure they evolved and grew. I think they're sometimes getting a little smaller, but there's a lot of them. We go to a lot of schools and a lot of seniors' residences with the Color Party and participate in these services, and everybody is eager to do it. The thing about is the further you get away from having been in a war, the less people come out and participate. So it's heartening to see that usually we get several hundred at the Cenotaph in Victoria Park, and we get several thousand at the Brand Center. So it's heartening to see that happen.
All right, and in hopes of maybe getting some more people out there, especially this year, what events is the Legion holding and how can people be a part of them?
The Legion basically sponsors the two main services. One is at the traditional one is at the Victoria Park Cenotaph, and it's on Tuesday, tomorrow at 10:30 it starts, and the same thing at the Brandt Centre. People should be arriving there after 9 o'clock to be seated by 10. The parade kicks off at 10:30, but there's things happening before that too, so it takes about an hour in each location.
All right, Henry, thank you so much. Make sure you're coming on out tomorrow for Remembrance Day. We're going to be back in the next hour.
We have some Brad Paisley tickets to give away for this weekend. Saturday night, he's going to be playing SaskTel Centre in Saskatoon. Brad Paisley, Jackson Dean, and Megan Patrick all out there. And how to get these tickets? We are playing Brad Libs. It's like Mad Libs, but this one is Brad Libs, and it will win you tickets. So all you have to do this morning is fire us up on the free iHeartRadio app, and when you're listening to Pure Country 92.7 on there, you'll see a little microphone in the corner. That is the talkback feature. Click that, record yourself with 3 random words. That's all I need from you, and then we're going to put that together for one of our Brad Libs and could call you back with some tickets to see Brad Paisley. We're going to do the winning call just after 7:30, so you got a little bit of time to get those recorded, but again, head to the iHeartRadio app, Pure Country 92.7, and give us 3 random words with the talkback feature, and we could call you this morning with Brad Paisley tickets.
Quentin Tarantino's Kill Bill came out in 2 volumes in 2003 and 2004. Now it's all coming together. Kill Bill, The Whole Bloody Affair will unspool in theaters beginning December 5th as one movie, running more than 4.5 hours, including a 15-minute intermission and featuring a never-before-seen anime sequence.
Thunderbolt and Lightfoot. That sounds like something, doesn't it?
The 1974 action comedy Thunderbolt and Lightfoot, starring Clint Eastwood and Jeff Bridges, could be getting a remake. The Hollywood Reporter says Ryan Reynolds is producing an adaptation of the heist flick, including collaborating on the script and considering playing one of the leading roles.
From the big freeze to the great thaw, life finds a way.
Prehistoric Planet Ice Age Season 3 looks at the post-dinosaurs Pleistocene era. Tom Hiddleston takes over narration duties from Sir David Attenborough. The 5-part new season premieres November 26th on Apple TV. In Hollywood, I'm David Daniel.
All right, as we approach the 7 o'clock hour, let's start things off with an 80s hair trend that we hope never comes back.
Pink curlers. Everybody I knew slept in the fancy hair. So we're going to make our own fancy hair.
What's so wrong with the Pink Curler Club? These little sponge things, all the rage back in the day, giving girls curly hair for days. I think mostly if you couldn't afford a perm, you just needed these guys. You got the big hair look you wanted, right, Janelle? I'm sure you must have had these.
Oh, absolutely. I remember being little, like a day before elementary school, my mom would be like wrapping my hair in these curlers, and the next day, you look fantastic. You got some great curls, and they last forever. So I'm here for it.
Are they even gone? I didn't realize they were passé. My daughter had these.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong. I love a good curl. Bring them back.
Sometimes just need big hair. All right, refill that coffee. We are going to return at the top of the hour.
The system to work. We want it to work, but the way they're going about it is only going to de-incentivize doctors from actually stepping up.
Sounding off. Thousands of Quebec doctors gathering in Montreal, urging the province to suspend a law overhauling pay and work structures.
The American people will see who stands with them on health care and who does not.
The The U.S. Senate takes the first step to ending a record-long government shutdown, agreeing to proceed without a guaranteed extension of health care subsidies. And the Saskatoon Hilltops have won the Canadian Junior Football National title. Stay with us, Saskatchewan. Your morning starts right now. Good morning and welcome to Your Morning Saskatchewan. My name is Jeremy. Darrell will be back with us later on in the week. The federal Liberals still have another confidence vote to get through in order for their budget to pass and to avoid an election.
We believe that people who may have voted Conservative or think of voting Conservative, these are concepts that they can support, that they can get behind. It's a budget that's firmly planted in the middle of Canadian politics.
Government House Leader Stephen McKinnon says the opposition parties should support the document. The Liberals are 2 seats shy of a majority government. They've already survived 2 confidence votes in the House related to the budget. The third will happen next Monday. If the budget fails to pass, Canadians could be headed into another election. The Conservatives and Bloc have already said they will not support the budget. The 2 parties have each laid out a series of conditions for their votes. The NDP, meanwhile, says it is still deciding. Thousands of doctors in Quebec gathered for a massive demonstration Sunday. More than 12,000 doctors denounced a new law aimed at overhauling the province's healthcare system. They're urging the Quebec government to suspend Bill 2, saying it will damage how patients and doctors in the province are treated. Quebec is aiming to tie a percentage of doctors' salary to performance targets. It would also pay family doctors a fixed amount per patient visit. The Quebec government says these changes are necessary to improve care. However, doctors say it will just drive away doctors from practicing in Quebec. 250 Quebec doctors have applied for an Ontario license in the past 2 weeks. Compare that to just 19 doctors applying in Ontario from June to October 22nd of this year. The U.S. Senate has passed a deal aimed at ending the longest government shutdown in its history.
On this vote, the yeas are 60 and the nays are 40. 3/5 of the Senate duly chosen and sworn, having voted in the affirmative. The motion upon reconsideration is agreed to.
8 Democrats are breaking with their party to vote in favor of an agreement. Now, the deal does not include a key demand from Democrats, which is extending Affordable Care Act subsidies that are due to expire this year. Instead, Republicans are only promising a future vote on health care sometime next month. The deal will need to clear several more hurdles before federal workers can get paid and services return. 1.4 million federal employees have been on unpaid leave or working without pay since the U.S. government ran out of money October 1st. As Canada looks to rework its relations with China, a former Canadian diplomat has a warning.
Making China the core of that strategy, not a good idea, because it's not geopolitically a reliable partner. And as it's demonstrated time and again, if you create dependency on China, it will weaponize it for political purposes and to silence Canada and constrain our foreign policy.
Michael Kovrig's comments come 1 week after Prime Minister Mark Carney met with Chinese President Xi Jinping on the sidelines of the Asia-Pacific Economic Cooperation Summit in South Korea. It was the first meeting between the country's 2 top leaders in 8 years. He says instead of focusing just on China, it's important to have diversification across multiple partners. A Manitoba woman is warning others to advocate for themselves after a long ER wait time almost cost her her life.
For 8 hours, I lay on that gurney, and no one checked my vitals.
Harriet Burkall was taken to Winnipeg's Health Sciences Centre by ambulance after not feeling well last year. She was triaged and put on a gurney and ended up waiting for hours to get any help. Burkall decided to go home and called a second ambulance. When she returned to hospital, she found out she had sepsis and only had 2 hours to live. Other first responders and frontline workers are also speaking out against long ER wait times. HSC says it's actively working to improve the flow of patients in the ER. 2 people are facing charges after guns were seized during a vehicle search in the Cut Knife area. Here's a look at what RCMP seized during the search on Saturday. Mounties say 6 guns, including 4 that were loaded, were found in a vehicle on the Poundmaker First Nation. Police stopped a black Escalade SUV with a man, woman, and 2 dogs inside. 27-year-old Caroline Eagleshield faces 47 charges, including possession of a weapon for a dangerous purpose. 40-year-old Robert Noorgaard faces 39 charges. Both will be in North Battleford Court later today. A 3rd person is now charged in an ongoing Regina homicide investigation. A 16-year-old boy is now facing a number of charges, including 2nd-degree murder in relation to Regina's 10th homicide of the year. Happened on the 1000 block of 12th Avenue. A 19-year-old man was shot and later died. The youth facing charges cannot be named under the Youth Criminal Justice Act. 44-year-old Trevor Whitequill and a 17-year-old girl are charged in the death as well. All 3 will be in Regina Court this morning. Government House gathered about 40 people to educate guests on battalions. As part of the presentation, the 90-minute film, They Shall Not Grow Old, was played to show the immersive experience of being a soldier in World War I. Colonel Jason Quilliam educated those in the audience about the significant battalions, not only in World War I and II, but the Korean War and the war in Afghanistan.
Just to give people an opportunity to come and hear something from somebody that was personal, and to take the time again to remember.
You know, we have folks who have deployed to Latvia, others who've gone on op impact in the Middle East. Basically, you know, they're everyday citizen soldiers who are serving Canada right now.
This is the first time showing a screening for Government House, and they're not expected to conduct any further events for the Remembrance Day weekend. Nearly 200 banners have been hung in an Ontario town east of Toronto ahead of Remembrance Day to honor those who fought for Canada. And there's one very special banner that represents a love story that began just after the end of the Second World War. Here's Carol Charles with that story.
99-year-old Mary Brown takes a moment to look up and see a picture of her husband, Fred Brown. Brown enlisted for World War II service in the Canadian Army and was assigned to the Royal Canadian Corps of Signals. Over the past few weeks, his image has towered over King Street in Bowmanville. A happy memory for Mary just before she steps into Cut and Curl Salon for her weekly hair appointment. She is a bit of a celebrity at this shop.
Lady Linda and Miss Mary.
And takes joy in sharing stories about her life with Fred.
We got married the 27th of November 1945.
A long-lasting love affair.
69 years of marriage, so. 69? Yeah. Wow. That's pretty good.
It all began when Mary, who is originally from Aberdeen, Scotland, met Brown at a movie theater. He had traveled to Scotland from England by train while on leave from service.
He always had his uniform on in Scotland.
Mary says her Canadian war veteran spoke very little of the battles he saw.
All the time we were married, he didn't talk about it.
Why do you think?
I think they wanted to forget what they'd seen.
She says her Fred was one of the lucky ones. He survived World War II.
He was lucky he didn't get, the only thing, he got shrapnel in some parts of him.
After the war ended, they married, moved to Canada, and raised a family. Bowmanville has been their home since 1953, a place which holds decades of memories.
He was a good man, and he was a kind man, and I just loved him. and I still love him.
In September of 2014, at the age of 91, Brown received a service medal from the French Embassy in Ottawa for the role he played in helping to liberate France. A proud moment for Mary, too.
Oh, you're darn right. And all my family, too. Everybody that served, we were proud of them. They were sticking up for their country.
Brown died on April 25, 2015, at the age of 93. But his hometown of Bowmanville has not forgotten him.
I look up and I say, there's my honey.
Carol Charles, CTV News.
To hockey now, and the Regina Pats trounced the Swift Current Broncos Sunday.
Now rolling puck to center. Ruslan Karimov drives to the Broncos net. Here he comes, powering to the goal.
Ruslan Karimov had a goal and 2 assists. The Pats scored 3 in the first and 2 in each of the remaining periods, beating the Broncos 7-1 on home ice yesterday. It's the Pats' second win in a row. They now head out on their U.S. road trip soon.
Red blows a tire. Semeluk on the puck, comes in right wing side. Semeluk backhand, scores!
And just down the highway was Ethan Semenyuk's 5th of the year in overtime. That was the difference. The Moose Jaw Warriors edged the Red Deer Rebels 3-2. Warriors snap a short losing skid, and they're back in action Friday in Swift Current.
Did he work hard for that?
Well, Janelle, we take a quick break for Remembrance Day tomorrow. Today, we are offering our remembrance, and then we are into the home stretch towards Christmas, and the weather looks like it may start to turn later this week.
That's right, Jeremy. We might be inching a little bit closer to Christmas here. However, we are seeing above seasonal temperatures for this week. Let's take a look behind me here at our morning view, which is brought to you by Recycle, myelectronics.ca, where you can find a drop-off location near you. Currently here in Regina, -4. Now, we are starting to see a little bit more cloud cover coming in once that sun does rise. Got a little bit of a cloudy Monday ahead of us, but that temperature is going to be rising as well. So we do have a very nice day ahead of us here in the Queen City. Again, those winds are continuing on here this morning, 32 kilometers per hour currently. We're going to see that remain consistent throughout the day. Now over to Saskatoon, 1 degree. Again, once that sun rises, a little bit more sunshine over our Saskatoon friends, but that 26 kilometer per hour wind. So if you're off to somewhere today, that temperature will be nice, but you still will want to dress warm. Those wind speeds are giving it a little bit of a chill to the air. Now over to our future cast, you can see a little bit of a system rolling through northern Saskatchewan. Little bit of freezing rain, potentially even some snow, but for the most part, majority here of Saskatchewan is seeing fairly clear skies, no precipitation, some cloud cover mostly here through Saskatchewan rather. Let's get my words straight. All right, let's move over to our current temperatures. Stony Rapids, 1 degree. We've got Buffalo Narrows at -1. La Ronge at 0. South End and Nipawin both at -2. We've got Spiritwood at 2 degrees. Melfort -1. Now the Battleford seeing about 2 degrees as the current temperature. Kindersley and Swift Current seeing a beautiful 6 degrees so far. We've got Wynyard at 0. Yorkton -5 and Estevan -3. Now let's look over at our highs for today. The Battleford's 9 degrees. We've got Prince Albert at 6. Saskatoon again reaching that 12-degree mark. Regina and Weyburn both at 9. Now Regina a little bit windier than Weyburn. We've got Moose Jaw at 9 as well. Swift Current also seeing those wind speeds, 16 as the high. Now for our wind gusts, we'll continue to talk about it here this morning, but as the day goes on, we will continue to see those speeds climbing. It's going to be a breezy day today. However, there is hope once we roll into tomorrow that we'll start to see those speeds going down. Now for our 3-day forecast right here in Regina, 9 degrees as our high. Again, pretty gusty out. For the next 2 days, though, we've got sunshine coming, so beautiful temperatures ahead. And for Saskatoon, 12 degrees as the high for today and lots of sunshine. look over at our rural forecast for today. Meadow Lake seeing about 8 degrees along with Spiritwood. Watrous 12 degrees. We've got Wynyard at 8, Hudson Bay at 5. Outlook seeing 13 degrees. Leader a beautiful 16 degrees. Now Maple Creek seeing 18, but those wind gusts are strong. Rosetown 14 degrees. We've got Kenora at 6, Pilot Butte at 9 along with Lumsden, and Rockglen 14 degrees. Now let's take a look over at Bethune, where internet speeds up to 1 gig are available from SaskTel. 8 degrees as the high for today. A little bit of a mix of sun and clouds in the sky. That wind speed is west from anywhere from 10 to 25 kilometers per hour. It's going to be a nice day, but bundle up. That wind is strong.
We're continuing to tee up Remembrance Day services across the province, so let's turn things back over to Mike Siona in Saskatoon. Mike, good morning.
Good morning indeed. Coming at you from the Royal Canadian Legion Branch 63 with the one and only Malcolm Young here as we mark 80 years since the end of World War II this year.
Yeah, that's correct. In World War II, over 70,000 Saskatchewan citizens served during the conflict. And as with the March of Time, there are fewer and fewer World War II veterans with us. And we always talk about numbers, but what we really want to talk about today is an example of the kind of men and women that served. And so over here, what we have is a picture of Regimental Sergeant Major Roger Strum. Roger joined the regiment, the 105th Saskatoon Fusiliers, which is now known as the North Saskatchewan Regiment, as a boy soldier prior to 1914. He served in the First World War and served right up till 1950s. But Roger was part of the South Saskatchewan Regiment that landed in 1942 on the beaches of Dieppe. And that particular raid was a test raid for how the Allies were going to do the invasion of Normandy 4 or 2 years later. Roger was wounded on the beaches and had to be evacuated, but he went on to recover from his wounds and served. And he was a foundational member of our community. And over here we have Hugh Fraser. Hugh Fraser was a member of the Cameron Highlanders. And Hugh actually went back, landed in Juno Beach post D-Day, but went on to fight at Dieppe in 1944. And so there's a connection between these two gentlemen. They're from Saskatchewan. They both fought at Dieppe, but the reality is they came home and they made a significant contribution. In Hugh's case, he was the Deputy Chief of Police. And so we are honoring the World War II generation and the veterans that survived today. We've lost 8 World War II veterans passed away in this last year, and so we will honor them. And we ask all of our citizens to come out to Remembrance Services at SaskTel Centre this year, not specifically for anniversaries, but for that 11 o'clock moment where as a country we stop for 2 minutes and we pause and in silence and think about what the contribution of these men and over 70,000 Saskatchewan citizens was during the Second World War.
No doubt about it. Lest we forget, we'll have all of the details on that SaskTel Centre ceremony and find out what the role of the Legion is today and moving forward when we come back later this morning.
All right, truly important. Mike, thank you very much. We'll see you in a little while. In case you missed it, the Toy Hall of Fame has announced its latest inductees. Now, every year, the Hall recognizes toys that have inspired creative play across generations. And this year, we have Slime, Battleship, and Trivial Pursuit joining the ranks of iconic toys. Other Hall of Famers like My Little Pony, The Spinning Top, and Scrabble, of course. And inductees are decided by a combination of public votes and expert panelists. Janelle, are these all before your time? Have you played with any of these?
You know, these seem to be very close to my time, if not a teensy bit before.
Some might say they're timeless.
I would say they're
board
timeless.
games anyway. Yeah, for sure. All right, good stuff.
All right, well, that leads us into our question of the day today. So with tomorrow being Remembrance Day, we want to know who you are honoring for Remembrance Day. So you can text us to 10400. Standard message rates may apply. We do have an answer here. We've got a great one coming up. This is from Dawn in Moose Jaw, who says this year, and every year I think of my wonderful grandfather, Edward A. Harrington. So when Dawn was a kid and growing up, every year he would come to school for Remembrance Day and share that importance memories of the day with the kids so they knew what they were remembering and honoring, which I think is amazing. I think that's fantastic. So there's still time here to send in your answers. We'd love to hear from you. Again, you can text 10400. Standard message rates may apply. You can also scan that QR code coming up right there on your screen. We would love to hear from you.
All right, Janelle, you and me for the morning mystery this morning. Are you ready with your whiteboard? It's a TV show.
Okay.
Okay. And the first episode of this show aired on November 10th, 1969.
Okay.
It has won 221 Emmys, 11 Grammy Awards, and several Peabody Awards. I think I know this.
Okay.
And the final question during original conversations surrounding naming the show, 123 Avenue B was suggested.
Okay. I feel
What do
like
you think?
I think we're onto something here.
I'm pretty sure this no show has won nearly as many awards as this one.
All right. Oh. Did we get it?
Sesame Street?
Nice.
Sesame Street. Sesame Street is apparently today is actually known as Sesame Street Day to celebrate the very first episode back in 1969. So,
wow.
Yes.
We got it, Jeremy. We did it.
We are the winners. We'll be
Studio
right back.
consideration provided by Father's Furniture, specializing in quality Canadian-made furniture.
All right, let's take a look over at our school day forecast for today, brought to you by CAA School Safety Patrol, working together to keep our school zone safe. By the time you get onto the bus in Regina, -4 degrees. By lunchtime, things are starting to warm up a little bit, 5 degrees. And by 3 p.m. final bell, 9 degrees. Now over to Saskatoon, by the time you get onto that bus, 1 degree. By the time noon rolls around, you'll be seeing about 8 degrees. And by final bell, a beautiful 12 degrees. As we go into the break, here's a look at today's gas prices. In Regina, the common cost to fill up is $128.9. You can find regular fuel for as low as $109.9. And in Saskatoon, common cost is $127.9, with the lowest you might find being $111.9. Now let's take a look over at our farm markets. The street price of canola is $568.42 per ton, and the futures price is $626.80 per ton. Amber durum wheat is $285.94 per ton, and red spring wheat is $249.42 per ton. And the Canadian dollar begins the day trading at 71.11 cents US. We'll be right back. Stay with us.
It is 7:30. Welcome to Your Morning Saskatchewan. My name is Jeremy Dodge. It has been 6 years since the Regina bypass was completed, but controversy continues over whether the $2 billion highway was even necessary. Now, a Regina author has completed a review of the project, which included walking the entire bypass. Wayne Mantiga reports.
Walking the shoulder of a freeway isn't the best idea, but author Ken Wilson did it as research for a book.
And I remember standing on an overpass, looking down at the highway, and I said to myself, you know what? You're going to have to walk on this thing if you really, really want to do this project. And my heart sank because I don't want to walk on this highway.
The assistant professor of English at the University of Regina had heard a lot about the 44-kilometer highway and its controversial $2 billion cost.
I was just curious about the bypass because I didn't understand it. I didn't know why it was there. there. I didn't know what his purpose was.
A book launch for Walking the Bypass was held recently at the Regina Public Library.
It's partly natural history. It's partly a broad political history. I don't shy away from some of the accusations that were made around land purchases, but that's not the focus of the book.
Some who have read the book say it's not just about the bypass, but about things passed by in our history.
And then fitting that into our history as settler people who came to this land in a colonial way, and we still live in kind of a colonial culture here.
It took Wilson 2.5 days to walk the bypass.
When I walked it in 2020, it's a little different now. It was empty of traffic, and that told me. And people who like it, people who drive it all the time, that's what they tell me. I said, but I like the bypass. There's never any traffic on it. I said, yeah, exactly.
The author says the bypass is a place that's really hard to connect to as a pedestrian, because it's a place where pedestrians really don't belong. Wayne Mantica, CTV News, Regina.
A popular road in Regina's downtown core has reopened now that the city has concluded the majority of its construction. It's 11th Avenue between Broad and Albert Street. It's all finished. City of Regina's 4-year revitalization project focuses on upgrading the underground infrastructure along with rebuilding its roads and sidewalks all across 11th Avenue. Although construction has ended, the city says it will continue to have bus stops at Victoria Park, Lawrence Street, 12th Avenue, and Albert Street for public transit users, as the city plans to improve its frequency of buses pending council's approval. Regina Transit will return back to having buses drive down 11th Avenue.
If you come down here at night, you know, all the buses come down, meet together, transfers occur. If we're moving away from that model, we need increased frequency to make sure if people do want to have transfers, that if they miss a bus, they're not waiting an hour for the next one. So that budget request is asking for increased frequencies to make sure that we have the correct service for customers if they do want to do transfers in the downtown.
Currently, 11th Avenue from Hamilton Street to Rose Street are closed to vehicle traffic. Sidewalks are open, though. Construction for the remaining and final phase of the project is expected to resume next spring. Mourners in Michigan today will pay tribute to one of the most famous maritime tragedies in modern history. That's the sinking of the SS Edmund Fitzgerald. Here is Victor Equendo.
Church services to lighthouse displays, people across the Great Lakes are marking the anniversary of the sinking of the Edmund Fitzgerald, a massive cargo ship that went down on Lake Superior 50 years ago today.
It's become part of the Great Lakes culture, a tragedy that we'd probably put in the same category as the Titanic.
A surprise storm catching the crew off guard. 15-foot waves and gale force winds battering the 729-foot cargo ship before knocking out radar and dragging her into the depths. 29 sailors were killed as thousands of tons of iron ore aboard the ship settled on the lake bed.
The general thought was, how could that happen? Because after all, it's just the Great Lakes.
The wreck stunning locals who had watched the so-called Big Fitz ferry shipments across the lake for years.
It was a grim day. When I got home from school, I heard that the Edmund Fitzgerald was sinking or had sank, and it was pretty frightening.
A year after the sinking, a folk song recounting the tragedy cemented the ship's place in history. Gordon Lightfoot turning the tale of the ship into legend with The Wreck of the Edmund Fitzgerald, a song that re-emerged in recent years on social media, educating a new generation about what happened on November 10th, 1975. The church bell chimed and the bell 29 times for each man on the Edmund Fitzgerald. 29 sailors died, but memorials now add a 30th ring of the bells for Gordon Lightfoot, who died in 2023. Victor Oquendo, ABC News, New York.
Well, the Saskatoon Hilltops have done it again. They've won the Canadian Junior Football National title. The Hilltops defeated the Okanagan Sun with a game-winning field goal with 30 seconds left to win the Canadian Bowl. Hilltops led throughout the game until Okanagan tied it up with just over a minute left. But Ryden Grattan made that field goal just a few plays later to lift the Hilltops to a 21-18 win. The Hilltops' David Collins was named Offensive Player of the Game. This is the 24th time the Toppers have won the national championship. And the University of Regina Cougars women's basketball program has a new all-time leading scorer.
Kara Miskey now into the game. Quick pass in for Belmore under the hoop. And she's one basket away.
Jade Belmore now has 1,440 points, moving her past Simone Bernauer, who has held that record since 2004. She finished the night with 22 points, and the Cougars swept the Lethbridge Pronghorns this weekend. They are unbeaten on the season so far. Janelle, you ever play basketball? You ever shoot some hoopies?
You know what? Once or twice in my day I did, but I wasn't very good at it. Surprise, surprise.
No, I'm not shocked.
Me either, to be honest. But what I am shocked about is seeing those temperatures rise because we have a beautiful week ahead of us here. You can see that sun rising behind me slowly but surely in Regina. We are at -4 currently for our temperature. Now we are starting to see some more clouds gather here over the Queen City, and that will continue on throughout the day. Again, those wind speeds are quite high, 32 kilometers per hour. We are expecting to see those continue on throughout this Monday as well. Now over to Saskatoon, 1 degree currently, starting to see that sunrise. Little bit slower, but nonetheless coming up. Now, once it is up, you'll see more sunshine than what we're seeing here in Regina. Again, some cloud cover in the sky, but more sunshine, and those temperatures will rise. Now, over to our futurecast is where you can start to see some of those systems moving through. Little bit of freezing rain, even some snow up towards that northern Saskatchewan area. However, for the most part, us here in the province will be seeing a little bit of cloud cover, but not too much for precipitation. Now over to our current temperatures throughout the province. Stony Rapids at 1 degree. We've got Buffalo Narrows at -1, South End and Nipawin at -2, Prince Albert and Melfort -1, Spiritwood 2 degrees. The Battleford's also sitting at about 2 degrees. We've got Kindersley and Swift Current 6 degrees. Moose Jaw and Assiniboia at 1. We've got Regina and Weyburn -4, Yorkton -5. Now for our highs today, the Battleford seeing about 9 degrees. Prince Albert 6 degrees. We've got Saskatoon 12. Moose Jaw seeing 9 along with Weyburn, Estevan 8 degrees. Now for our wind gusts, we've been talking about it all morning. We'll continue to talk about it because today is a windy day. As you can see, those speeds are climbing as the day goes on once we get into the afternoon and into the evening. So wherever you're off to today, that is something to be mindful of. Those temperatures will be nice, but those wind speeds will be cooling things off. They are quite strong. Now for a 3-day forecast here in Regina, 9 degrees as our high for today. Again, those strong wind gusts. Now Tuesday, 6 degrees, seeing a little bit more sunshine, and Wednesday, 5. Over to Saskatoon now. Today, 12 degrees as the high. We'll roll into Tuesday with 7 degrees. Wednesday, 5 degrees, seeing lots of beautiful sunshine. Again, that cloud cover is continuing on, but it will be lessening as the week goes on. We are seeing those above seasonal temperatures.
Never forget your bravery, your strength, your sacrifice.
The very best and bravest of our nation, these heroic souls stood on guard for freedom.
Join the CTV News team and me as Canada comes together to remember.
Remembrance Day 2025, Tuesday morning at 10 Eastern, 7 Pacific on CTV.
The incident happened on November the 4th, 2025 at around 11:30 in the evening at a home on the 1300 block of Garnet Street. Video surveillance from neighboring houses shows 2 men leaving the residence walking northbound down Garnet Street right before the house ignites into flames. If you know one or both of these suspects, you're asked to call Regina Police or Crime Stoppers.
I'm Constable Dana Adams with the Regina Police Service.
Crime Stoppers will pay up to $2,000 cash reward for information on this or any other serious crime in Regina. Callers do not have to identify themselves. Calls are not traced or recorded. In Regina, Saskatchewan, and Canada, call Crime Stoppers at 1-800-222-TIPS. That's 1-800-222-8477. You can also access our website at www.reginacrimestoppers.ca. Remember, our community suffers when you remain silent. Please report crime.
Crime Stoppers is brought to you by Leak Audiology, helping you live well with better hearing.
Real estate market can be full of confusing myths that cost people both time and serious money. This morning, we're cutting through that noise with realtor Sarah McKinley. Good morning, Sarah.
Good morning. So happy to be here.
We're thrilled to have you. So lots of sellers say that your home must be in show home condition before selling. How true is that?
Right. This is a myth. You do not have to stress about cleaning your home, getting behind the toilet and cleaning the baseboards. We are going to come over. We're going to help you through the process with a few appointments prior to bringing you to the market. We're going to walk through every room of your home, give you tips and tricks on staging. If you need a stager, we'll connect you to them. You don't need to go overboard just to have us in your home, price your home, and get you ready for the market.
Absolutely. And a lot of sellers find that their neighbors' homes are selling quicker than their own. Why might that be?
Right. So it is a myth that you can bring your home to the market for the same price as your neighbors and expect to sell in the same period of time. Remember, homes are like people. We come in all different shapes and sizes. Buyers like to date different homes, and our role is to really highlight the attributes of your home and attract that right buyer, which might take more time or less time, just depending on what your home is offering and the buyers that are looking.
And many sellers think that summer and spring are the best times to sell your home, but that's not entirely true, is it?
That's right. That's another myth. When you sell in the fall and winter months, you're actually tapping into a buyer's motivation. Perhaps they want to host their first large Christmas holiday gathering for friends and family, so maybe they want to buy before Christmas. And what about those New Year's babies that are on the way? They want to be in their home. They want to watch their children take their first steps in their home, so there's motivation there and less competition from other homes hitting the market. Because, I mean, yes, it's harder to move at -40, but we still get it done.
Absolutely. Okay, Sarah, and if somebody's interested in getting in contact with you, how can they do that?
They can find me on socials and give me an old school phone call.
Perfect. Sarah, thank you so much for being here this morning.
Thank you for having me.
Here's what's happening in our community. A tea and bake sale happens Friday, November 14th at 2 p.m. out in Sturgis at the Grace United Church, 306-547-7068. Holiday Market happening Saturday, November 15th, 10 to 4 p.m. 4720 Castle Road. Admission is free. Santa's Workshop Craft and Trade Show, Saturday, November 15th, starts at 10:30 a.m. at Broadway United Church, 105 Broadway Avenue. Admission is also free. Online bake sale, pre-order November 16th, pickup December 13th, Lakeview United Church, 3200 McCallum Avenue, lakeviewchurch.ca for more. If you'd like your event shown here, email us, reginacommunity@bellmedia.ca, but please do so at least 2 weeks in advance.
Wardrobe consideration by Colin O'Brien Man's Shop, defining contemporary style for over 20 years.
Remembrance Day services are being held across Saskatchewan tomorrow, and here's a bit of what you can expect in the south.
All right, we're coming back to you down here at the Legion in Regina this time around. I have President Reed here with us. Now, Reed, tell me a little bit about the Legion and what it does.
So the Royal Canadian Legion in Regina has been around since 1926. Our 100th anniversary is next year, so that's going to be fun. It's going to be a big party. But our main thing is we support, as my Parade Marshal Henry, past president, pointed out, is our main goal is to support veterans, RCMP members, and their families. And it's just whether through funding or being a safe safe space because we have a buddy check coffee program, being a safe space for them to come on down and, you know, just talk. Or funding. Things, small things like hearing aids, which are not cheap anymore, to bigger projects like the River Valley Retreat. We fund that. That's a partnership program. They help with PTSD and mental health issues. And then we fund things like the Moose Jaw Family Resource Center and the Dundurn Family Resource Center that is for active serving members of the military who, you know, need a little assistance or just a place to take their family and have some fun. So that's kind of what we do. It's about funding, direct funding, or assistance funding. We also help veterans receive service dogs or just general funds to help them grow. And that's what the Poppy campaign's about, helping serve veterans directly. It's one of the charities that is, you fund us, it's direct funds straight back into our community or in communities across our province. That's where the money goes. It stays here in Saskatchewan.
Wow, so an incredible initiative here and some amazing partnerships. Now, if somebody's maybe interested in being a part of this or the Legion in general, how do they go about doing that?
So they can come on down to the branch and they can sign up to be a member. It's as little as $65, or they can go online too. So if it's not just our branch, but if they're, say, don't feel like comfortable coming on down because we're only open from 10 to 2 Monday to Friday, they can do it online. And then they still have to be sworn in. They still got to come to a meeting. And then the biggest thing when they're sworn in, they got to get railed into doing the Poppy campaign or one of our many other fundraisers that we do over the year. So, and it's kind of a fun little way to get people to do things while also making them a part of the branch.
All right. Well, some great information. Thank you so much, Reed. That wraps things up for us at the moment. But of course, we'll be back one more time next hour. It's November 10th, and we have these milestones to share with you. Happy early birthday to Kim. This is coming from your entire family who loves you so much. And Larry turned 62 on Saturday. Happy birthday to you. Love your family and your friends. If you have a milestone you'd like to send us, you can email us at yourmorningsaskatchewan@ctv.ca, or you can scan the QR code on your screen. Just make sure you're sending them at least one day in advance.
Big congratulations to Paige. She was our winner this morning as we played Brad Libs for some Brad Paisley tickets this weekend in Saskatoon. Now we're going to pause down tomorrow for Remembrance Day, but we have tickets again on Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, and you can send those Brad Lib words with the iHeartRadio app. Just use the talkback feature, send me 3 random words, and that's how you could get off to see Brad Paisley. Coming up here, too, we got your Country Minute. How do you feel about an entire AI song? I thought I would absolutely hate it. There's a country song that is topping the digital Billboard charts right now at #1, completely AI generated, and I'm shamefully going to say it's actually pretty good. We'll give you a little listen to that and get your thoughts, too, on some AI music on the way.
Is your first hunt. Predator Badlands dominated the weekend with an $80 million global opening, with half of that coming from the domestic box office. The film, produced by Disney, the parent company of ABC News, pushed the Walt Disney Studios across the $4 billion worldwide mark for 2025. The 4th consecutive year the studio has crossed that threshold. The Rock and Roll Hall of Fame induction ceremony was held Saturday in Los Angeles, and 2025 inductee Cyndi Lauper took the stage to perform her timeless hit, Girls Just Wanna Have Fun, alongside fellow inductees Salt and Pepper.
I know that I stand on the shoulders of the women in the industry that came before me, and my shoulders are broad enough to have the women that come after me stand on mine.
Also on the list of this year's inductees, Outkast, Bad Company, Soundgarden, and Chubby Checker. New York City is celebrating the 100th birthday of the iconic Radio City Rockettes, temporarily renaming the stretch of 6th Avenue in front of Radio City Music Hall as Rockettes Way. The sign will remain up through November 21st, but those high-kicking Rockettes will be performing in the Radio City Christmas Spectacular through the holiday season. And happy birthday, Ellen Pompeo. The Grey's Anatomy star is 56. That's what's happening in Hollywood. I'm Allison Cossack.
It's time for our sidebar. Check out this collaboration we didn't know we needed, but are very glad that we've got it. What a voice. This is hip-hop and opera together, also known as hip-opera. Babatunde is called the hip-hop opera guy for a reason, fusing both forms of music in a fun, fabulous way to reach audiences across musical genres. Jeremy, what do you think of this?
I can get on board with hip opera. I would like to see it performed live on stage. full regalia.
Yes.
Opera with hip hop music. I love it. I love it.
Absolutely. I think that's a great idea. We should probably do that as team bonding. We will be right back. Fill up your coffee. We'll be back in just a few minutes.
It's Monday, November 10th. Sounding off, thousands of Quebec doctors gathering in Montreal, urging the province to suspend a law overhauling their pay and work structures.
I've never seen anything like that before. I couldn't imagine a better way to kick off Grey Cup week.
The Grey Cup arrived in Winnipeg in style. The Saskatoon Hilltops have won the Canadian national title. Stay with us. Your morning starts right now. Welcome to Your Morning Saskatchewan. Well, Saskatchewan's Agriculture Minister, Daryl Harrison, has asked the NDP to substantiate allegations that foreigners are illegally purchasing provincial farmland. The NDP say the government has looked the other way and has failed to enforce the law. And Daryl Harrison has given the NDP until today to prove it. Wayne Mantika has the details.
The NDP is concerned that not enough is being done to detect foreign purchase of Saskatchewan farmland.
We've been calling on that government from the moment they've been elected, and they look the other way and have failed to enforce the law.
The allegation has angered the Agriculture Minister, who has sent a letter to the opposition saying, I ask that you provide any evidence, documentation, and/or information regarding the serious allegations you have made directly to the Farmland Security Board no later than November 10th at 5 p.m.
And I would say that if the critic, Mr. Speaker, the opposition critic, has an example of where he, in his words, says that the government of China, the People's Republic of China, or Chinese citizens are owning farmland in Saskatchewan, that he report that immediately.
In a recent report, the provincial auditor found 5 cases since 2020 where orders were issued to sell farmland inappropriately purchased. 8 cases were unresolved, and the auditor expressed concern that the government does not have escalation procedures to take further action.
But we need integrity of that system and to make sure that we're enforcing our laws and protecting against illegal foreign acquisition.
The NDP say it based its allegations on cases raised by producers and that all were advised to contact the Farmland Security Board. Wayne Mantika, CTV News, Regina.
Turning now to a new survey that describes a strained relationship between business owners and City Hall. It suggests the mayor is losing support from the business community. Keenan Sorokan explains why and how the mayor's responding.
Survey results of nearly 700 Saskatoon businesses obtained by CTV News shows the mayor has plenty of work to do to win back support from the commerce community.
It's like any customer service survey. You know, people are going to
tell you what they think, and they are passionate about it. And 9 times out of 10, they are completely valid.
Many responses called to reduce property tax increases and say operating in Saskatoon has become too expensive. When asked to rate the business relationship between the city of Saskatoon and businesses in Saskatoon, the average response was 4.5 out of 10.
It's one thing to know what the concerns are. It's sometimes another to actually hear it from people that are living it every day. And we know there's frustrations, and we share those frustrations.
When explaining their score, the top response was downtown and safety issues, describing downtown as unsafe due to open drug use and aggressive behavior. The survey shows calls for more of a police presence, faster response times, and tougher enforcement.
A business owner or operator is trusting the public systems, the public programs, the public services that they are contributing to like everybody else, and there isn't a change that they are seeing and experiencing.
When it comes to council and the mayor, business leaders point to poor leadership and lack of business understanding, saying that City Hall is slow, inefficient, and overly bureaucratic.
We can't be a strong community without a strong business community, and that businesses are our partners, not problems to solve.
A sizable number of responses had no further suggestions or felt the city was already doing enough.
We're all here because we want Saskatoon to win, all of us.
With the message heard loud and clear, Block says she's ready to roll up her sleeves to improve City Hall's relationship with businesses. Keenan Sorakan, CTV News, Saskatoon.
The federal news, and Prime Minister Mark Carney will be in New Brunswick this morning. He's scheduled to meet Premier Susan Holt in Fredericton before making an announcement on the federal government's Buy Canadian policy outlined in last week's budget. Yeah, it will be in the afternoon. According to the Premier's office, Holt and Carney will discuss the state of Canada-U.S. relations. It's also expected Holt will reiterate her calls for more support from Ottawa to deal with the ongoing tariffs on softwood lumber and look to a solution. Holt will also push to get some of the money outlined in the budget, specifically defense spending for CFB Gagetown and new health infrastructure dollars. Holt will hold a separate news conference this afternoon. Ministers and officials from around 200 countries, plus climate experts, are in Belém, Brazil for COP30. On the agenda for the summit, how to rein in the climate crisis before catastrophic warming becomes inevitable.
I'm hoping that this is an opportunity for all the stakeholders to come to the table to really talk about what it is everybody can do to reduce the emissions within the context of their own nations, but also what other stakeholders like private sector can do, and also talking about discussions such as the role of technology.
50,000 people are expected to attend the United Nations Climate Change Conference over 11 days. Attendees will discuss global transitions to a green fuel economy, global warming, and the consequences of failing to implement previous pledges. A report released by the UN's High Commissioner for Refugees says 250 million people have fled their homes over the past decade because of weather-related disasters. COP30's Brazilian chief, Andre Correa de Lago, says rich countries have lost enthusiasm for tackling climate crisis. The U.S. is not sending any high-level representatives to the summit. And a major development in the government shutdown in the U.S. The Senate has taken its first step toward ending the 6-week shutdown, already the longest in American history.
3/5 of the Senate duly chosen and sworn, having voted in the affirmative. The motion upon reconsideration is agreed to.
On Sunday, a small group of moderate Democrats agreed on a measure that will fund the government through January. The shutdown has seriously affected a number of federal government services, leading to long delays at U.S. airports and cutting food benefits to 41 million low-income Americans. The deal came only after Republicans agreed to a vote in December on extending subsidies that help lower-income Americans pay for private health insurance. U.S. President Trump is pardoning a long list of political allies who supported alleged plans to overturn the 2020 election results. So, who has he pardoned? lawyers Rudy Giuliani and Sidney Powell, and Trump's former chief of staff, Mark Meadows. The proclamation includes a full, complete, and unconditional pardon for those named. The pardon also explicitly states it does not apply to Trump himself. The chair of the BBC is expected to apologize today after 2 resignations and claims of institutional bias. The head of the BBC, Director General Tim Davies, and the broadcaster's top news executive, Deborah Turnus, both handed in their resignations yesterday. This comes after criticism of the way the organization edited a speech by U.S. President Donald Trump. A leaked BBC memo suggested 2 parts of Trump's speech were cut together, so he appeared to encourage the Capitol Hill riots in 2021. The chair of the BBC will apologize in a written statement to a parliamentary committee today. And the Saskatchewan Roughriders are headed to the Grey Cup.
I knew I caught it the whole time. You can't really put it into...
Tommy Neal scored the game-winning touchdown. Now, the owner of the BC Lions posted on Instagram yesterday a picture that he says proves it was not a catch. Nevertheless, Riders are off to the title game.
You can't win it unless you get there, right? And so you got to get there first. And so now that we've accomplished that, it's time to turn the page after we maybe take a couple deep breaths tonight and just kind of with gratitude, just kind of embark on the journey that it has been and the ups and downs from the season.
Just solidified what I probably already knew about the group is, you know, they're not going to turn their back on each other. They're just going to lock up and bite down, for lack of a better term. Like, I think that just solidified our thoughts and our belief in each other.
The West has a new best. And the Grey Cup has arrived in Winnipeg.
That Canadian Armed Forces helicopter hover over the ground here at the Forks, and the Grey Cup rappelling down was something incredibly special.
The trophy making a grand entrance to kick off Grey Cup week in Winnipeg, being delivered by members of the Canadian Armed Forces. The 112th Grey Cup between the Saskatchewan Roughriders and the Montreal Alouettes kicks off Sunday. That will be 6 p.m. Eastern on TSN and on CTV. Oh, I cannot wait. Janelle, the Grey Cup week is so much better when your team is in it. I'm looking forward to a whole week of coverage. I cannot wait to get it going.
And I know there's tons of people across Saskatchewan who are so excited for this too. Now, I'm hoping to get everybody excited for some nice weather on the way. Let's take a look behind me here at the Morning View, which is brought to you by recyclemyelectronics.ca, where you can find a drop-off location near you. Currently -3 here in Regina. We're starting to see that sun really rise. However, pretty cloudy out today. We are expecting to see that continue on throughout today. However, once we roll into tomorrow, you'll see a little bit more sunshine. Again, those wind speeds are quite high here in the Queen City, 28 kilometers per hour. So make sure you're grabbing a jacket. Those temperatures are going to warm up, but again, those wind speeds are quite strong. 2 degrees in Saskatoon. Now, still some clouds in the sky. However, our friends over in that direction will be seeing a little bit more sunshine than we will be here in Regina. Still, those wind speeds quite high, 24 kilometers per hour. Now, let's move over to our futurecast, where you can see some of those systems moving through the province, especially up towards northern Saskatchewan. So a little bit of rain coming, some freezing rain even, and the possibility of snow. However, for a good portion of the province, we are just seeing some clouds moving through. No precipitation expected. Now for current temperatures across the province, Buffalo Narrows staying -1 along with Larange. We've got South End at -2 along with Nipawin. Melfort 0 degrees and Spiritwood 3. Now let's take a look over at the Battlefords, 2 degrees, Kindersley 7. We've got Swift Current at 8. Yorkton -4, Estevan -2, and Assiniboia 2 degrees. Now for our highs today, you can see some sunshine coming through, mainly a windy day for a good portion of the province. The Battleford seeing about 9 degrees for the high. Prince Albert 7 along with Yorkton. We've got Estevan at 8. Weyburn seeing 9 along with Moose Jaw, Swift Current 16 degrees. Now let's take a look over at those wind gusts. Still seeing those continue on throughout the day into the afternoon and the evening as well. Again, a little bit of a breezy day out there. You're going to want to make sure you're bundling up because despite those temperatures being above seasonal, those wind speeds are keeping things a little bit cooler. Now for our 5-day forecast in Regina, 9 degrees as our high for today. Starting tomorrow, we'll start to see that sun coming out more and more. Pretty nice temperatures across the board. Over to Saskatoon, 12 as the high for today. Seeing more sunshine, and that will continue on throughout the rest of the week.
November of 1979, a CP train carrying chemicals and explosives derailed in Mississauga, Ontario, forcing the evacuation of 200,000 people. November 10th, 1989, people in Germany began tearing down the Berlin Wall. And November 10, 1975, the Edmund Fitzgerald sank in Lake Superior during a November gale. It was later immortalized in song. Take a listen.
The captain wired in, he had water coming in, and the good ship and crew was in peril. And later that night when
The wreck of the Edmund Fitzgerald, released in 1976. It hit number 2 on the Billboard Hot 100 chart in the U.S., one of Gordon Lightfoot's biggest hits. In case you missed it, members of the British Youth Parliament held an annual session at the House of Commons.
And paved the way to a world we deserve. Thank you.
Man, these students aged 11 to 18 debated a wide range of topics like housing, climate change, and public transport. The Youth Parliament has over 300 members. They're each elected to represent the views of their peers from schools across the country. The initiative is meant to introduce young people to the world of policymaking and parliamentary process. Janelle, what were you doing at that age? Were you changing the world?
No, I wasn't. But I feel like I should have been. That is so admirable to see, you know.
No, they can have it. They're more qualified than we were.
Oh,
we'll let them at it.
We sure will. All right, Jeremy. Well, that was a fantastic story. We are going to head into break here. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Well, you can't spell JB's sausage without sausage, and you guys get a ton of questions, I know, about sausage and making sausage and the process and how it all works. So this, by the way, is Dorothy Garrow here at the Saskatoon location of JB's Sausage. This is almost overwhelming when you come in and look at this section. What is the most commonly asked question that you get?
The most commonly asked question we get is by far, what is your most popular type of sausage? So from there, we typically need to narrow that down. We want to know if people want a sweet, spicy, savory. We want to know if they're making it fresh, if they're smoking it. We want to know if they're frying it or if they're making a snack stick. So we have to narrow everything down. And to do that easily on your own, you can come in. We have color-coded sections that tell you exactly what is on each shelf. We have our color-coded section that is green, which is our fresh sausage, so there's no cure in those packages. Though if you like a flavor that you want to smoke, you can totally add cure to that. Just like if you like a flavor in our packages that come with the cure, you can take that out and make it as a fresh sausage.
Okay, so you really have a ton of variety in a ton of different ways, but there's not just one singular. It's not like, oh, well, for me, it's easy, Ukrainian garlic sausage. But how easy is it then from that standpoint? You grab the bag and you go.
Yes. So once you have your choice of flavor narrowed down, then you can decide what size of casing you want to put it in, and we can help you with that as well at the till. And yeah, other than using Cure to make sure that food safety protocols are followed, the sky's the limit. You can take any flavor of sausage, stuff it to any size casing you want.
Fantastic. I love that. And what else do we need to know when we're, narrowing down or trying something? Is maybe, just step outside of the ordinary, try something different?
Yeah, typically I always encourage people that if you like spicy, to try a different flavor of spice than you normally do, or if you like sweet, to maybe add a scoop full of brown sugar to something that you normally wouldn't. Anyways, yeah, it's just a matter of personal preference and what you like, and there's never too much garlic, always.
I know, 100% accurate. Thank you so much. Of course, locations in Saskatoon and Regina. Dorothy, appreciate a couple of minutes here. You can find them online at jbsausage.ca as well.
The Saskatchewan government is expanding strep throat testing to more communities. 11 more pharmacies across the province will now be able to test for strep, bringing the total to 22 locations. At these pharmacies, trained pharmacists can assess symptoms, perform a rapid strep test, and prescribe medication if needed.
There's some communities where the pharmacy is the main access point for healthcare. So I think specifically in those communities, this is a great opportunity to really expand what can be done in a pharmacy from a primary care sense, so that people can stay closer to home, people have quicker access.
Health officials say expanding access can help catch strep early, preventing spread and reducing the risk of serious complications. A list of pharmacies offering the assessments can be found through the Saskatchewan College of Pharmacy Professionals.
Health Report, brought to you in part by Saskatchewan Blue Cross, protecting your health since 1946.
All right, now to a service dog who deserves a big treat for helping his pal. Here's Danny New.
When Marine and U.S. Army veteran Hank Ford enters a room, his service dog, Tommy, can usually help him relax from old habits.
It used to be I'd walk into a place and I'm looking for exits. I'm watching everybody. I'm just not trusting anything that's going on. And with him, all that seems to have gone away.
However, the Colorado native might only be alive today because of something Tommy did earlier this year when Hank was not even awake.
That morning, I guess I wasn't getting up. And he just went into a panic.
Hank received Tommy 2 years ago from a nonprofit called Dogs, Inc. And usually, as he was trained to do, Tommy wakes him up every day around 7 a.m. But this one morning in February, the now 3-year-old yellow lab woke Hank up way earlier and almost seemed to be trying to tell him exactly why.
He was hitting me in the chest. He wasn't coming up to my face. He was literally hitting me in the chest.
That's so wild. Feeling kind of off, Hank then drove himself to the hospital only to find out he was in what's called AFib, with an irregular rapid heartbeat. As the doctor put it, if Tommy did not start barking and pulling on him,
you probably wouldn't have woken up, or you would have had a massive stroke.
Staying overnight, Hank would eventually undergo shock treatment in the morning. But before that, guess who would not leave his side?
He just laid there with his nose looking right at me and just stared at me for hours.
9 months later, after also undergoing a cardiac ablation and going on medication, Hank says he is feeling way better now.
All right, Tommy.
These days, Tommy rides shotgun while Hank works his part-time job as a golf course marshal.
It's my golf ball, Tommy.
And will use that very impressive nose to help Dad find golf balls or whatever else he may need.
How much has Tommy changed your life?
Night and day. Night and day. Everybody that knows me, they're just like, they can't believe the difference in me.
Again, that organization is called Dogs, Inc. And in addition to providing service dogs to veterans, they also provide guide dogs to people with visual impairments. And starting in 2026, they will also provide dogs who can detect changes in blood sugar for people with type 1 diabetes. In New York, for ABC News, I'm Danny New.
We will never forget your bravery, your strength, your sacrifice.
The very best and bravest of our nation, these heroic souls stood on guard for freedom.
Join the CTV News team and me as Canada comes together to remember.
Remembrance Day 2025, Tuesday morning at 10 Eastern, 7 Pacific on CTV.
It is 8:28. My name is Jeremy Dodge. Welcome to Your Morning Saskatchewan. A woman in Manitoba is speaking out about her experience at hospital, sharing what she calls a life-threatening experience and an excruciating wait in the ER. CTV's Alex Karpa has her story.
Harriet Burkle was hospitalized for over a month at the beginning of 2024.
It happened so fast.
On the morning of December 31st, 2023, Burkle was taken to Winnipeg's Health Sciences Centre by ambulance after not feeling well. She was triaged and put on a gurney, but proceeded to wait and wait and wait, getting no help for hours.
For 8 hours, I lay on that gurney, and no one checked my vitals. I'm starting to get worried. I'm feeling worse and worse.
Burkle knew she had to take matters into her own hands. She left the hospital, went home, called a second ambulance, returned to the hospital, and found out she had sepsis and only had 2 hours to live.
If I wouldn't have left the hospital, I would have been dead, because after 8 hours, no one had checked my vitals.
Manitoba's Shared Health said HSC is actively working to improve patient flow and reduce wait times. Last week, a triage nurse who CTV News agreed not to identify over fears of repercussions said they are surprised more people haven't died while waiting in emergency and admits the situation will worsen if nothing is done to change it.
This has been a chronic issue that's been compounding over time.
Nick Casper, who himself is a firefighter, says hospital delays are also taking a toll on frontline staff.
Our members are sitting with stable, low acuity healthcare patients for hours at a time. And when I say hours, I mean, half a day.
It's surreal.
As for Burkle, she says her story should send a warning to others.
You really strongly have to advocate for yourself.
And her advocating for herself in a time of distress was a decision that saved her life. Alex Karpa, CTV News, Winnipeg.
The Saskatchewan government says 40 of the 109 acute care beds planned for Saskatoon City Hospital are now open. Today, government leaders and healthcare workers gathering for the announcement. The 40 beds that are operational are caring for patients on the 6th floor of the hospital. The province says once fully implemented, the expansion will increase overall capacity by 14%, helping emergency departments become more efficient and reducing wait times. The announcement includes 22 acute rehabilitation beds, 12 acquired brain injury beds, 60 for general medicine, 15 high acuity beds, and the addition support services like pharmacy and laboratory.
Having 40 acute care beds out of the total of 109 new beds open and operational is something that we're very excited about. The SHA acknowledges that the hospital capacity pressures create a difficult environment for our patients who are seeking care in our emergency departments.
Some outpatient and continuing care services will transition to other settings to make room for the new acute care clients, or units. Veterans and their families braved the wintry conditions in Toronto to participate in the 48th Highlanders of Canada annual Remembrance Day Parade. A ceremony taking place outside Queen's Park to honor the fallen and renew commitment to duty and service. CTV's Rahim Ladani reports.
Carrying on a proud tradition that stretches back more than a century. The 48th Highlanders of Canada gathered at the Regimental Memorial in Queen's Park to honor all those who have served and fallen in times of peace and war.
When we remember those who fell, we can, through our histories and storytelling, restore those who were shattered by war into individuals once again. We put them back together in our mind's eye.
The laying of wreaths symbolizes honor, eternity, and gratitude for the nearly 14,000 Highlanders who have served in regiment's ranks. Among them, more than 2,000 have made the supreme sacrifice.
We may be inspired by their sacrifice to remember or restore the bonds that connect us to one another as Canadians and to renew our commitment to Canada's defense in an increasingly unsettled and dangerous time in our history.
As the 48th Highlanders remain an active presence in Toronto's civic and ceremonial life, the regiment has served in every Canadian campaign, from the South African War through both World Wars and modern peacekeeping and NATO operations. Reaffirming the regiment's enduring motto, faithful forever. Rahim Ladani, CTV News.
A local author made an appearance at Indigo Bookstore with the goal of sharing the inspiring stories of former Prairie pilots. Dina Driver is an author and the founder of Driver Works Inc. publishing company, who dedicated over 2 decades to writing books that preserve the stories of people from across the prairies. Her most recent books showcase the bravery and heroism of 2 former Saskatchewan pilots who flew planes of all sizes across Canada and even the world.
I love telling those prairie stories and the war stories, aviation stories. Those are the heart of helping others and doing good things to make the world a better place.
While the pilots are no longer flying, the tales of their journeys can now be seen across the airwaves, thanks to Driver's long-standing commitment to storytelling. The Hoop Life Basketball Camp brought youth together to learn skills from professional trainers who played on courts across Canada, North America, and even across the globe. For some athletes, ball is life, and that is especially true for the pro basketball players that gathered to teach Regina youth dribble, shoot, and playmaking ability.
Basketball is the greatest teacher. It's the greatest tool. You can really learn a lot about yourself and about life. And so the goal with Hoop Life was to help kids become confident and successful through basketball and through learning like the beautiful game. So that's really where it came to be.
Hoop Life's CEO says the camp is just one way to keep young athletes engaged. Well, there are a number of Remembrance Day services happening right around the province tomorrow. Mike Siona is standing by with a local veteran. Mike.
And it seems this is the second time we've seen it.
All right, well, let's take a look over at our morning view here in Regina. Like I said earlier this morning, we will start to see those temperatures rising. -3 as the current temperature here in the Queen City. Again, those wind speeds remaining consistent throughout the morning. We are seeing those clouds in the sky as well. Those will continue to last throughout the day. However, tomorrow is showing a little bit more sunshine. Now over to Saskatoon, 2 degrees as that current temperature. Seeing those clouds gathering a little bit more as well, but expecting to see a tiny bit more sunshine. We'll take whatever we can get. Again, those wind speeds 24 kilometers per hour, expecting to see those remain consistent throughout the day. Now over to our future cast, you can see that system moving through northern Saskatchewan. It's looking like a little bit more freezing rain as the morning continues on. No precipitation for a good majority here of Saskatchewan, but things are getting a little bit icy up towards the north. Now let's take a look over at our current temperatures. Stony Rapids seeing 0 degrees. We've got Buffalo Narrows and Larange -1. Spiritwood 3 degrees. We've got Hudson Bay and Nipawin -2. The Battleford seeing 2 degrees. Kindersley 7. Swift Current already seeing 8 degrees. We've got Regina again at that -3. Yorkton -4 and Estevan -2. Now for our highs today, the Battleford seeing about 9 degrees. We've got Prince Albert at 7. Yorkton 7 as well. Estevan 8. We've got Moose Jaw at 9. And Swift Current seeing a very nice 16 degrees. Most of Saskatchewan, again, seeing those wind speeds continue on throughout the day. So it's going to be beautiful out. Those temperatures are quite nice, but as you can see here, those speeds are continuing. You're going to want to make sure you grab a jacket. Now let's take a look over at our 5-day forecast right here in Regina. 9 as our high for today. Starting tomorrow, we'll see a little bit more sunshine starting to peek out. That'll continue on throughout the week up until Friday, where we'll start to see a little bit more cloud cover moving in. Over to Saskatoon, 12 degrees is the high for today. Seeing some sunshine peeking out. Now that will remain consistent throughout the rest of the week. We will be wrapping up that Friday with 9 degrees.
How you doing? Jermaine Franklin in the Sports Center newsroom with your must-see moment from Sunday. And for it, we head to Ottawa for the Canadian Premier League Championship game. Ottawa facing Cavalry FC in a blizzard. 40th minute, the ball delivered into the box. And David Rodriguez pulls off the bicycle kick goal. Incredible scenes and an unreal finish, especially given the conditions. Maybe easier than shooting it along the snow. Just saying. His first of 2 in the match as Ottawa takes the North Star Cup, and Rodriguez claims the must-see moment. Tonight on TSN, we wrap up Week 10 in the NFL with Monday Night Football. The Eagles face the Packers in Green Bay. Coverage begins at 6 p.m. Eastern, 3 Pacific. That's all for now from the Sports Center newsroom. Have a great day.
The University of Saskatchewan Huskies are one step closer to the Vanier Cup in Regina, and they did beat the Rams over the weekend to advance to the Mitchell Bowl. And our next guest is a member of that Huskies team, senior linebacker Seth Hundaby. Good morning, Seth. How's it feeling?
Good. How are you?
I'm good. Thanks for coming on again. Now, we spoke last week before the Hardy Cup, and man, that was a battle. We were biting nails all afternoon there. How did that feel to be a part of that game and launch that comeback in the fourth quarter?
Yeah, no, definitely lots of ups and downs in that game. The one benefit of being an older guy on the team and having more experience is that I've been in similar games where things don't look as good, or you got to get some really crucial right at the end there. So, never losing faith, always having trust in the guys around you, and just playing until that clock hits 0 is really the thing that carried us through. And Regina's a really good team, a lot of respect for them. Their guys played really hard, and it was a really, really good game.
Okay, so the Vanier Cup is in sight, but first it's the Mitchell Bowl. Are you beginning to prepare? Is today the day that work really gets to begin?
Yeah, so we're gonna head into the clubhouse today and watch some film and get prepared. They're going to be a really good team. Sure, they're going to be big, strong, fast, physical, and I think the thing I'm most excited about is I get to play another game on Griffith Stadium. So it's gonna be exciting.
These teams that you were going to face, I think you've got Queens this week. Are these teams that you see a lot of throughout the season? They're not, right? This is mostly fresh for you guys.
No, this is a super exciting opportunity. Normally in our normal conference, we play the same 5 teams over and over, and we, as much as I like them, we get a little sick of each other. So getting to play an out-of-conference team is super exciting. New players, new play styles, and even the Ontario Conference has just a different kind of feel to them. So I'm super excited to see how that's going to go.
All right, so what is it about your squad? You're a 5th year. You know these Huskies. You know what you are capable of. What is it about what you guys have going on that gives you confidence heading into this matchup?
Yeah, I think we've had a lot of tough games this year, and I feel like that's really put a lot of trust into each other and a lot of trust into knowing our capabilities. And, we have a lot of fun. We, with that site kind of there, it gives us a lot of more motivation when the times might be getting a little tough, a little cold, a little tired. So I think we're going to get a little burst of energy, and we just love playing football, man. And we're just going to keep playing until the season's done.
Well, you've got, like you said, you have home field advantage for this, and then the Vanier is it's down in Regina. Does all that help
It definitely, it feels like the stars aligned, definitely being able to like host a Mitchell Bowl. I mean, like, guys, instead of doing the rigmarole of jumping all around Canada for like some of these bowl games, we could just stay at home. And, you know, like Regina's barely a hop, skip, and a jump down compared to the distances that Canada can be. So, no, that definitely helps a lot and gives them a little bit extra motivation.
All right, Huskies linebacker Seth Hundaby, congratulations on the Hardy Cup win over the Rams. The Mitchell Bowl is next, and the Vanier Cup is in sight. Best of luck to you guys.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Good morning. We are finishing things up down here at the Legion in Regina. But before we do that, we've got a little bit more information to pass along to you. So I've got Henry and I've got Reed back with me here. Now, Reed, let's start off with a little bit on cadets and that program.
So one of our main things is the cadet programs. We use them, or they use us as volunteers for a lot of their duties. But we also fund them with bursaries to help fund their programs, to help fund their, you know, daily activities. And usually the amount right now is $3,000, and it goes a long way. So, and that helps pay for a lot of their programs over the course of the year. It's not everything, but it's a little help, and then they help volunteer for, you know, the Remembrance Day services tomorrow. They do a lot of work for us, so it's kind of our way of giving back to them. We also do bursaries for not just the cadets, but for members, active serving members and their families, and veterans' families, kids who are going to university or college, whichever one. We fund them as well through a bursary, and we usually do, I can't remember, maybe 5 or 6 per year, of each. And then we usually try and give one to each of the military units in the city if they come to us. we sometimes have some issues getting them on board, and sometimes they forget, but they do eventually get one. So it's a way to give back to them and make sure that, hey, you're going to school, we'll help you with that. So,
incredible.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, another great initiative.
Yeah.
And now, Henry, let's talk a little bit about tomorrow's event, because you're hoping to bring out some more veterans.
Yes, I'm kind of hoping that we'll get enough veterans at the Brant Center, for example, that can march with the veterans troop. In past, we've had a little trouble getting them to come down out of the stands. They just want to stay up there and watch. But it would be kind of nice, because at the beginning of the service, we bring them down as a formed troop to get recognition from the crowd. And they get quite a hearty applause at the beginning, and they stand there for "O Canada," and then they get to sit again. Like everybody else has to stand, they get to sit. So it's kind of good to have them down there. We just like to get out a few more of them out of the stands.
Yes. All right. Well, thank you both so much for this morning. Make sure you're coming on out on Remembrance Day to honor and remember.
Well, one more time here at the Royal Canadian Legion, Branch 63 with Malcolm Young, ahead of tomorrow's Remembrance Day services at SaskTel Centre. Malcolm, give us the details.
Right, so tomorrow is our 94th service since 1931, when the first service was commissioned. Doors will open tomorrow at 9. Live coverage starts at 9:30. The actual ceremony starts at 10:30, and it's an opportunity for Saskatoon residents to come in the thousands, as they normally do, and show their respects to the veterans, which will be on parade, but more importantly, together as a community to remember. The service itself, our reviewing officer this year is Major General Chris McKenna, the commander of 1 Canadian Air Division, who has a Saskatchewan connection. His wife's family is from Saskatoon, so that's important for us as well. But the most important part is that our fellow citizens come and gather and remember. And for those who can't, they can go to saskatoonremembers.ca, view it live stream there, or get the other details about other ways of viewing the service as well.
Absolutely, and the details on the bus service and things like that are on that website as well. Transportation, of course, provided. But we want to talk quickly here in the last 45 seconds that we've got you this morning about the role that the Legion plays today and moving forward into tomorrow.
Yeah, thanks very much for that. So the Legion's been around since 1926, and it was created primarily by the veterans of World War I. So the ceremonies, the traditions that we do are harken back to them. So we follow the guidance of our predecessors. We commit to their memory, following the ceremony as the way people see it on November 11th. But what the Legion also does is through the Poppy campaign and the generosity of folks, the money goes directly to support veterans. We also do things like home programs. So if a veteran is in their home, doesn't have to be a member of a Legion, and they need some support, we will send people out to visit them, and that comfort is important to them. And for veterans, when they finally pass on, the family may ask for some form of military contribution to the service, so we'll send an honor guard. So we support our veterans both in terms of their life and at the end. And we're very focused on that as part of our tenet.
A lot of community and that built-in rapport here at the Legion. Truly, thank you very much for the time this morning. Of course, tomorrow is Remembrance Day across the country.
But I keep coming back like a revolving door. Said I don't want you less, but I just want you more. So I keep coming back. The way you got me all in my head. Think I'd rather you in my bed. We dreaming hard, we came so far now. I believe we're going up, up, up.
Now a story of service and sacrifice you might not have heard before.
This one belongs to a 103-year-old veteran who will be attending the National Remembrance Day ceremony.
Yeah, Elmer Friesen was far from the battlefield, but as CTV's Kathy Lee explains, he played a crucial role in Canada's war effort, keeping morale alive at home.
I would have been 20, 21.
Clad in his Royal Canadian Air Force uniform is a young man ready to answer the call of the Second World War.
I thought, oh boy, I'm going overseas. I really wanted to go.
But instead, the new recruit was assigned as a leading aircraft man, stationed in Skeduk, New Brunswick, doing small repairs and sometimes big projects.
We got a Hawker Hurricane, a single-seater fighter plane, and we got it as in kits. And we put it all together, and I did the electrical work on it.
The sparks and circuits kept Elmer Friesen busy for a year and a half, until his service took a musical turn.
I was always singing. Wherever I went, I was always singing.
When he was recruited into an entertainment group.
We did variety shows, two of them, and we also did Gilbert and Sullivan Opera. We performed in Moncton and Nova Scotia and Prince Edward Island.
Friesen wasn't overseas, but his role at home was just as crucial, lifting spirits of civilians as wartime tension grew.
It was really good to see the reception that we got when we did entertain them. I know that it took some relief out of their concerns.
He would go on to perform for another year or so. And while the curtain has long since fallen, the melodies never really left.
Take me out to the ball game.
At 103, his voice may be softer, but the echo of his service remains. Proof that duty isn't always measured in combat, but sometimes it's measured in music. Kathy Lee, CTV News, Calgary.
All right, check out this collaboration we did not know we needed, but oh, we are glad we got it. What do you think? Pretty good. You got that hip-hop beat to anything, even opera, and just makes it better, right? This guy's name is Babatunde. He's called the hip-hop opera guy for a reason, fusing music together to reach new audiences across musical genres. I'm not sure how the opera fans would feel about this, but as a hip-hop fan and an opera fan, I'm into it.
It's fantastic. The energy is great. They're both like feeding off of each other. I would love to see more of this, personally. I think that's so fun.
How about you show us this new rendition of Happy Birthday?
That's right. Let's take a look at it.
2, 3. Happy Happy. Happy.
All right, so these friends decided to only sing the word happy from the birthday song and change the whole atmosphere. Poor birthday girl didn't even look super happy, even though that was the only word she was hearing. Now, I do have a story for this. It was recently one of our engineer, Brooke's birthday, not too long ago. And of course, our very own Kayleen Sawatsky said, I have an idea. And we sung Brooke happy over and over again, and I don't think she loved it, but it was, it felt right. Felt right.
It felt right. Yeah, but you know, I think you got to say the whole thing, and I think it's including their name is the important part, right at the end of it.
Yeah.
That's what you really do need.
Yeah. All right. Well,
hey, thanks everybody for bearing with us on this Monday with the B team, Janelle and myself. We will be off for Remembrance Day tomorrow, and we'll see you again on Wednesday.
Every person. To make the enemy think they were under attack by a much larger force and forcing them to retreat. Leo's acts break.
These students are carrying a wreath on behalf